What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? Kunal here in the house. Wanted to go over a trade that we played a few times in the last 2 days. CZR. This is why it's so important to really keep an eye on stocks in play, stocks that have some type of positive news or catalyst, because those stocks are going to be moving independent to the market, regardless of what the market's going to do. But you're also going to get your technical analysis play out in a very exaggerated fashion, meaning that your patterns and things that you watch tend to play out much better when you have some type of fundamental catalyst and your stock is in play as the volume starts to come in and everything else starts to fall in place. So CZR actually, and this shows you why it's really important to watch the price action versus just trying to really read the news. CZR had their earnings out, and they had a whole host of different news things that came out, and it looked like it was bad. When I read it, it said, oh, CZR might declare for bankruptcy in January. I'm like, oh, shit, this thing is probably going to zero. And then you start to watch how it acts, and it started to get bought up. And so it's really important to watch the price action, and then that'll actually tell you whether the news is good or bad. We were able to really make some good profits by just focusing on the price action and understanding that there was a PR and a catalyst out there to send this thing going. And so once the stock started to make a move, it was really about just following our principles and letting the momentum take over. So, we started the run on this a couple days ago, and you can see here in terms of the action, this is my TC2000. You can see the stock gapped up, and so it was on my news scanner for a stock that's, making some type of pre-market move, as the stock was gapping up about 50 cents. And, right off the bat, this stock did an ORB and really shot up a couple dollars, which we did not participate in. I was looking for a better entry. And so, as the stock started to consolidate in this area, well, this gave us an idea that, hey, this thing is not going to fade back. It's starting to hold its key supports here. And so we want to make an entry. And so, we take an entry here at 1334 on this flag pattern, and I buy a couple thousand shares, and it's just, we're going straight for, a breakout. And so at this point, my first target would be, that $14, maybe $13.75 range. And we'll have a really good entry. As you can see, our risk is managed. So, the stock pops up here and makes a little bit of a move, and then it comes down. So when it comes down and it holds over here, that's actually a really positive thing, because when you're looking at breakouts, the more times you can kind of test the highs, the more coiled up it's going to be, and that actually makes the pattern more powerful. So as this stock broke over here, now we've got a much more powerful breakout, so we actually added in, more shares. And then it's just a simple matter of scaling out, scaling out at 14, 14.10, 14.25, and, taking that type of gain. And so we took a really nice trade on it, and then it actually faded off the rest of the day. That's okay. When a stock gets this extended, that can happen. But because it's a stock that is a PR earnings breakout and has that type of momentum, we want to keep it on our watch list. So you can see what happened in the morning is the stock opened up weak, and it went red to green. And I start watching this thing because I know that once this stock goes green, it's got another positive entry on it. And so as soon as this stock, breaks out over highs again, we're adding this thing, and you can see we're kind of testing this level a few different times. And so, we hit 2,000 shares in the 1420 range, and it's just off to the races. First spikes, we want to sell off a few shares into it. I like to scale out. And then it was really just next spike, I took off, another portion of shares. Stock pulled back, spiked up again. I peeled off another quarter, and then I kept just a few lotto shares at this point because it's getting really extended. But, we're up $2, and you don't know if this thing's going to go to $17, $18 or whatever. We have resistance here at the 200-day moving average. So, I thought maybe we'll get to 17. So I keep a few lotto, and then, once it starts to kind of fade back, I just take my profits on the last bit. But I still put it on watch. And so you can see what happens here is that it starts to base out here. And you can see you're starting to hold support. And this is what makes it so important. When I'm day trading stocks, I want to be playing the same stocks over and over because now I have an understanding of how the stock moves and what it does, what the story is, and how the buyers are reacting to key levels. So as this stock starts to base out here, as it comes out of range, I'm adding back a couple thousand shares and then, putting my stop under this base. And my target is the recent high. And if it breaks out over that, even better. But the good thing is, right, you have very little risk and a lot of potential reward. And from the stock's previous history that this stock is obviously making big, big moves. And it's also breaking all these patterns. And so I want to see a stock that's actually reacting well to its flag patterns. So once the stock goes, I sell a partial into 16. As we can see, there's resistance there. And then into the next thrust, sell off a few more, and so on and so forth. Then I sold off the rest in the 1620 so we could get out and about as we're out of town right now in Costa Rica. And it was time to leave. So made a ton of money on this stock. Great, easy patterns. But this is the beauty of trading momentum, but also finding stocks that are in play that have that type of positive catalyst that can really make stocks go. And if you're a day trader, you have to ask yourself, were you in this stock or not? As traders, you have an obligation, a responsibility to be in the best stocks, the ones with the most momentum, the ones that are working. And so if you're not in this stock or some of the other stocks that we're going today like CYBR, then you have to really dig into your processes and routines, as you can't be a day trader and look for momentum stocks if you're not in the best names. That's half the game right there, is making sure that you're in the right stocks and in the right opportunities. So that's it for now, guys. Leave me any questions or comments if you've got them, and I will see you guys all in the chat room. As you guys know, I trade these things live in front of my students all day in the Bulls on Wall Street chat room. I'm on video, so you'll see me sing and dance and fart and also trade stocks every once in a while.